What's cooking, Bianconeri? Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone podcast. This is episode number 12, episode number 1 for me being a part of it. But as you're used to, Julian Genotti, Alejandro Fancello are joining me. They're the normal ones who hold down and host the podcast. But I thought I'd hang out today and talk about the latest happenings in Juventus and all the good things going along with that and bad. What's up, guys? I guess I should just let you all talk for a sec. How are you all doing today?
I know what Alejandro's going to say. Good.
I'm good.
I'm fine too, by the way. It's all good.
Yeah, I hope you all had a good weekend. I did not with the Super Bowl. That's all we're going to talk about, the Super Bowl, and that'll be it. And we'll move on.
We told
this
you.
Video already got flagged.
It is what it is.
I mean, they should have won the damn game. Just get one goal, one score. I was going to say goal, but it's all they need to do is score one time in the 6 drives you had there in the second half. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
It's like Juve.
You
needed to convert one chance out of the 10 they created.
Yes, it's ridiculous. I mean, I knew what I was getting into. I really shouldn't be upset. They've never won a playoff game in my lifetime. They've won one when I was still in diapers, and that was it. So I should be happy that they even made it to the Super Bowl, to be honest. Anyway, that's not what you're here for. You're not here for Super Bowl talk and me bitching and complaining about the other teams that I like. We're talking about Juventus. We're talking about the latest happenings in there. Obviously, Sunday, an even more important match came and went for Juventus. We're not going to spend too much time because we've done enough breakdown of this match and, what went wrong, what went right, yada, 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 all that. But again, for all three of us here being for the first time, the one thing I want to say is just how frustrating it was, the decisions that were made by the coaching staff or by Allegri with the substitutions, with the players that he put out there to begin with, the play of some of those players, and then, of course, just like treating this. He said it was important but not decisive. I would argue wrong. I think it was decisive for Juventus. I mean, it doesn't mean it's decisive. You're not going to make the top 4, but for trying to push for anything more than that, you kind of killed any hope there, right?
Yeah, they definitely screwed the pooch. Like, I'm sorry. I think when I did my match reaction, I was kind of okay with how they played, and I'm still okay with how they played, except for the final pass. Everything to do with the final pass was horrendous. It was not like McKennie, Dybala, Morata, Vlahovic even. Anytime any of them had the opportunity to make even a 5-yard pass, I know a couple times, it was just not there. They couldn't connect. It was very frustrating to watch, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before it wasn't just connecting for actual shot attempts. It's just nobody can pass the damn ball.
Yeah.
And it made no sense. Like, it was some of the worst passes by guys that I expect much more out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said the first 22 minutes were probably the best of our season. Like, because away to Atalanta, we usually just sit back a bit, and it's like at the end, let's say around the 60 minutes, when we kind of control them, we tend to come out of our shell. Like, usually, we play like that. But because in the preview, I said, I don't think Allegri's going for it. And when I saw the lineup with McKennie, I was like, he's going for it. And the first 22 minutes, I was like, yeah. And I was like, we had good opportunities. Like, Dybala, he usually doesn't miss those opportunities. Like, there was a clear shot for him. I was like, we didn't score in those 22 minutes. I was like, I know what's going to happen now. We're going to fall back. And that happened. The only difference with the Sassuolo game is, Chesney didn't really have anything major to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is still under control. The second half, we were a bit not all over the place, or it wasn't really structured anymore. But I think we had the best opportunities in the second half. But we, like you said, Julian, I will never forget that Vlahovic pass to Dybala that he missed. I was like, because I rewatched the game today at school during the break. I was like, that was so easy. There was a goal for Dybala. It was basically a tap-in for Dybala. And those mistakes were just repetitive. Remember that counter? Morata, he needed to shoot. He starts to dribble. Then he passes to Dybala, who needed to shoot. He starts to dribble. I was like, come on. You cannot do this. These are easy opportunities for you. And if you take them, you probably win that game. We
decision
did
making.
It's decision making. It's like, first we had a problem at the start of the season. We created nothing. Then we created, but we missed. Now we kind of create, but we mess it up. I'm like, okay, you need to find the balance now. But yeah, it's frustrating for me.
I almost don't know, and like this is such a to me, I feel like this is not even something that I should even like have to bring up. But in this moment, it felt like they felt the pressure in those moments, and that's why they struggled to connect on pass. Like they had jitters. That's the way I. That's the only way that I can like even try to make sense of it to myself. Of like seeing like McKinney missing these easy passes that are picked off left and right by a defender here, defender there, midfielder, whatever. It just doesn't make sense to me that you couldn't complete a like you said, a 6-7 yard pass.
I think, yeah, for McKennie's sake, I just don't think he's consistent enough to do that in his own right. But those three up front, like those guys have the quality. They have the quality. They've won stuff before, or except for Vlahovic. But like Morata is a champion. Like he knows how to make a decision. Dybala is like what a top 20 player in the world.
Yeah.
So on his day, I'll say. But
right.
yeah. But like McKennie, you've seen it throughout the season. Like it wasn't too weird to see that, but for those front three, it was very odd to see them misplace the passes or hesitate to shoot or hesitate to do something to unlock Atalanta's defense. I was going to say, do you want to bring up the stat now that Mirko Nicolino tweeted out today about the about our progress so far since the trident became a thing? So I have it right here. With the new trident, Juventus have recorded in these 3 games 1.95 expected goals per game, and that is almost a half a goal per game or expected goal per game more than before. And then our shooting has gone up almost two more times per game since the trident was used, and attacks in depth have gone up by 5 per game.
Yeah. So okay. Like that's so like even if it's only 3-4 games, that's so clear and obvious.
Yeah.
Like, we look dangerous going forward. We do, because it's very difficult. I think it's difficult for teams to defend for obvious reasons, but also like it's new. Like there's not, maybe it's cliche, there's a lot of tape on it. Like the movement between the three it's kind of crazy. Like for an Allegri team, at times it's like they're crossing each other. Dybala coming in, Dybala moving out. Like it's very, how do you want to say it?
Fluid.
Yeah, fluid. Like there are finally patterns, like a movement. Yeah. Like remember when we talked about it in the first? I think in the first podcast it was like there's no movement. Like everything is predictable. Alexandro gets the ball, he crosses this, if you want to call it a cross, or he just lays it back off. Like there's nothing. Now there's movement, and that's because Vlahovic came onto the scene, and Morata, he's free to do basically whatever he wants. Like he's free. There's no, how do you say, focus on just him. Yeah, the focus is on Vlahovic, and you tweeted it out. Vlahovic now needs to learn how to play with his back to goal more. He does, and I think he will improve because like technically he is good enough and he's strong enough to do that. So he will. I think in the second half he did better. Yeah. In the first half he was a bit struggling.
Right? It's usage rate because
with
Fiorentina he didn't do that. He didn't have that many opportunities to touch the ball in the game. Like I remember against in the Coppa Italia quarterfinal, the commentators like he touched the ball 7 times in the first half. I was like, yeah, that's probably what he usually did in Fiorentina as well. But then not yesterday. When was the game? Sunday.
Yeah.
There's way more. Like he was looked at more at least. He didn't touch the ball as much, but like he was looked at and tried to play it in, and that's a pattern of playing we see now. He's the strong target man, hold it up. And I gave him a lot of crap on my reaction video, but looking back on it, like if he wins 50 out of 50, or like 50% of the duels, especially against a guy like Demiral, I think that's still good. Like it's not horrible. Like he should be better, but it's not what I was saying about him.
I think he had a good game besides his like the easy thing. He messed up the easy things on Sunday, and that was frustrating. Not just him, Morata, Dybala, the same thing. Like it was just the whole team up front, and that was a difference. Like let's say they played the type of game they played the first game in terms of quality on the ball. Yeah, we would have won that game. I think easy, very easy. I think we would have put that game to bed before they had any chance of scoring. And even if they scored, like that was the problem on Sunday. And Romeo tweeted out after the game, like, hashtag trust the process. It's cliche.
I saw that.
It's cliche, you know, but
Mhm.
that's the only thing you need to do now. Like, just hoping, or just not hoping, like being, how do you want to say it? Like, what we expect that they will click to perfection in the next, I say 4 games. Like, you still have 4 games, then it needs to click up to perfection, in my opinion.
Here's my question.
That's
What's the process? What is the process in this situation? Well, let me just finish. Like what I was to say is, when it comes to process, is it Allegri's system? Because what's the system?
No, I think he
Like,
meant
what is the system that we want him to?
he meant the 3 up front. I think because there was a little
Mhm.
bit of criticism after the game for missing chances and missing. I think he means that, which is fair. Like, they need to get used to it now.
Mhm.
It's mid-season, you know, that's messed up, and it's pressure season, like pressure moments now. But I think they will come good just because the quality is there. Like, you cannot mess that up, to be honest. Yeah, you can, but like, you need to do a hell of a job to mess that up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Obviously, they came out on a good footing and a good start in the very first game against Hellas Verona, which I know that it's not Atalanta level, but still Hellas Verona has been a thorn in Juve's side for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I think we rode a high there, and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's really, it's progressively gone down a little bit each game, but I mean it's only been 3 games, right, with all three of them playing. We haven't had even the last game we didn't play with the trident to begin with, not the last game, but the one before. So I wonder, how long is it going to take for the chemistry to develop? I've been obviously pushing the Dybala bromance thing that I want to see develop, because I think they can have really good chemistry together and play well. How that third piece of the trident really fits in. Morata looked good the first game. Obviously, he came in a reserve role, I think. What match am I blanking on? Which one? What was in between Hellas Verona and Atalanta? Sassuolo, Coppa Italia. That one, he came in later in the game, so it wasn't the same situation. I think they also played. Was that a 4-4-2, or was that that they started off in that one? It wasn't the same setup.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was more like it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know what I want from Morata to do more? Like, I know he's doing a lot of good stuff, but I need him to create more space with his direct running. Doesn't even have to be with the ball. Like, just make runs and then free up space for other people, because he has it in him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, take your defenders out wide, take them across so that it opens up the flank on the other side. Like, do the things you were doing as a striker, but do them as whatever he's called now. What is he, a left winger? I don't know. Whatever his proper position is now. Right. He just has to be more inventive with his runs, because he can get in behind. He's quick enough.
I think,
especially if Dusan comes to collect the ball again, he can go make those runs in behind. Like what we want McKennie to do, Morata can also do that.
I think the same goes for Vlahovic. Like, he tends to move to the right of the field more than to the left. He needs to improve that. I think that's what Allegri means with his movement. Like 2 games ago, when he said like he needs to learn how to move on the field a bit more, especially playing with Dybala, Morata. He tends to move to the right a bit more. I think, for obvious reasons, he's left-footed, so it makes more sense for him. But if he learns also how to move to the left a bit, drop back into the left, I think that frees more space up for Dybala to do his thing and not just solely depend on Morata doing his thing. I think it's not a big, how do you want to say it, working point. Like, I think it's easy to fix, but it's something
for sure
to fix.
That's guidance. You just tell him to go a little over, or move to both sides. Do you remember when we did one of those videos? I forget if it was a live preview show, whatever. And we said, well, Vlahovic is going to take up Dybala's spot because he's left-footed. And he's going to drop.
I remember that.
Remember we talked about that?
Yeah. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's what Allegri meant. Just to give Dybala, how do you want to say it, some more movement, some more space to operate in. Because there was even on Sunday, there was a lot of space. Like a lot of space.
And we knew there could be that with them.
Especially on the right-hand side. Like, at times it was like, this is wide open and we're not taking advantage of it. Then when he brought Cuadrado on, it didn't improve at all, to be honest.
No.
Because he's not having a good season, to be honest.
No.
And that's frustrating. It is because, like, again, he has some clutch moments this season, but you expect more from him.
Yeah.
I think those three up top, like, if we're gonna make top four, it will be because of them. It needs to be because of them. They need to be like, because Keane came on and it's pointless. It's useless. Like
Yeah.
he, I don't know what he was doing. Like he didn't. If he tried to beat a man, it looked awful. And at times when like, come on, beat your man. You need to, like, you have them on the ropes. You're running with the ball. He stops. Like he has low on confidence, like zero.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like it's frustrating because we are close to paying big money for him, and it looks worse with the day.
I'll say, as much as I wanted to believe in Moise Kean from the beginning of the season to now, what it felt like when they brought him in, though, it felt like that was Allegri waving the white flag. It's what it felt like to me. Like you literally had, to be our better, attacking options out there, and you pull. Who came in for that one? Was that Morata? Who came in for Moise Kean? Was it Morata or was it?
Yeah, I think Morata came off.
I can't remember. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was one of. I couldn't remember. It was one of those two. But yeah, Morata came off, and I was like, okay. So that to me, that just said like you quit on this match, and like obviously getting, that goal at the end by Danilo was more of just a miracle than anything. That it wasn't anything to really smile about.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Well, now that you say that, it was nothing to smile about. Guess who smiled after that goal?
Yeah.
Who smiled? Oh no! Oh yeah. Are you thinking Allegri?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about it? Okay, at first I thought you were going at Alejandro. I was like, did Ali? I was
No,
like, I don't
no.
think he did, but did he? But no, I saw they panned right to him, and he smiled like they just won the damn Champions League. And I was like, what's there to be happy about? It's like, okay, you saved a point. But he also, that's what he went into the game for, right? Like, I know he didn't play the first 20 minutes like that, but I feel like he came away with, if we can draw, I'll be fine. I'll be happy.
It's like,
and that should not be good.
It's like Julian. He asked me. I remember we were wrapping up the preview, and his last question was like, "Will you be happy if you get basically peppered the whole game and you get away with a point?" And I was like, "No, not at all. Like I need 3 points," and we got the point. And like just looking again at social media, looking around, I was like, people are too happy about this. Like it's weird. Like it's against Atalanta, who are struggling this season. They're not the same team. And I'm looking at our squad and our ambitions and where we are in the standing. I'm like, I'm not gonna be happy about this. Like, yeah, Danilo, that goal makes a big difference. It does. So I'm not gonna be ignorant about it. But I'm not gonna, like, the social media of Juve, like the official social media.
Freeze?
No.
I think it froze on me for a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, you were glitching, but you're normal now.
Okay.
The social media of Juve, they were acting like we won something, like fine alla fine and all those things. I'm like, this is not the moment. Like it isn't. Like if this was Inter away and you scored a 1-1, I'm like, okay, man, do it. Like they're the better team this season. You got a point at the end, good. But this is still Atalanta, who are not pretty good this season, and we got 1 out of 6 points from them.
Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
No, you go ahead. I might glitch out, so you go ahead. I talk too much anyway.
I was gonna say, like it's more like relief and happiness is different. That was relief.
Yeah, that was relief. It was relief.
It was not happiness. Like I was not happy. I was relieved that we got a point.
I was angry, to be honest. Because
for sure. Yeah.
I was like, and even the last 3 minutes of the game, we were just kicking the ball around at the end.
I remember at the middle of the field.
Yeah, I was like, just put that ball into the box. I don't care, just put it in. And like, I don't know. People say, oh, but it's a golden point. I'm like, yeah, that's all we got. Golden points. 5 out of 21 against the top 4.
That's what I was gonna say.
5 golden points. Right. Like, there's nothing to be proud of. Like, we will talk about improvement later on a bit, but we needed a win. Like, if anybody says a point was okay before the game, they're lying. They're actually lying.
what bothered me so much about it, I think you brought up a good point, talking about if they were Inter in the situation, yeah, maybe you'd be happy with that, or maybe you'd smile at it. The thing is, I think your reason you're be happy about it or smiling about it is because Juventus would come back to steal points from them rather than winning. So it's just a bleep you to Inter more than it is I'm happy about Juventus' performance. But when it comes to what kind of bothers me, and I've seen it through the last few seasons, as a Juventus fan, but obviously it's like one of the worst places. It's the best place for the worst place. It's like Twitter, period, because you just see everybody loves to show their ass. It's like what I like to see. There's a lot of that. I do it myself plenty, but at the same time, there's this openness, or like maybe it's just like the standards for the program or for the club, or what do you want to call the club, have I hate the way they fluctuate so much. I hate the way they fluctuate from. Like, people forget that, I could go on about Juventus winning 9 straight and having, the history and all that nonsense. Not nonsense, but good stuff. But as soon as there starts to have a little bit of a struggle, there's this recalibration of expectations that drop us down and make us be like, hey, it's okay to be Cagliari. Or to be, whatever, another team that's just, we're happy to get points. We're happy to finish top 4. We're happy to draw against a team because they're in the top 4 rather than winning these matches. And that's what kind of bothers me a little bit. It's because I'm like, not we, because I don't want to say put you guys in the same box as me, but like, if I go out there and I complain and I'm yelling and saying this is not good enough, we're the bad guys rather than the people, that are like, no, you should be happy. You should cheer for your team because they got a late header by Danilo.
Yeah, no, that's the whole thing that this specific channel usually does. We're all in the same boat, I'm pretty sure. We expect to win. We expect to be first. I want to go 38-0. I don't want. I can't accept 4th or 5th. I can't accept. That's not good. Tying up 5 out of 21 points against those top 4 teams, it's garbage. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's. I use the words. It's embarrassing. Like, I know we are not in the perfect moment, but with the squad, I keep saying we have a better squad than Atalanta, Milan, and Napoli. I don't like, people can debate that. That's fine if you want to debate the Napoli thing, but I think so. We have the better squad. Or if it's not the better squad, it's up. It's very close. Like, it's not the big difference.
It's not 8-point difference.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's what I was.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, 7, I think, Napoli, and but you sometimes I'm thinking, especially after the Atalanta game, I'm like, it's just me, or do I have my expectations too high for this club? Because 9 years ago, those 9 titles, that's only 2 years ago. It's not 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Let's say an Arsenal situation where they have been average for 15 years now. They kind of accept it. They shouldn't accept it because they're still a big team, a big name. They shouldn't accept it. But it's been 2 years. I don't know. Even that last game. Remember last season when we got top 4? I was relieved. Yeah. But I saw people celebrating. I'm not celebrating this. This is not something to celebrate about. Not at all. If we get top 4, I will be relieved. And you know what the mess up part is? The biggest part why I will be relieved is money. And as a fan, we shouldn't be worried about money. You know what I mean? Getting in the Champions League is money. That's what we were talking about. We're scared to lose a top player because we're not getting into the Champions League. That's our fear. That's our goal. I think we get in the top 4. It's my first thought is okay, maybe we can keep the league. And then my second thought is, oh, we're in the Champions League now. That's my, and that's messed up. I'm not gonna lie.
You're 100% right. I get it was a big deal that Faraone scored in that whatever minute.
Yeah.
And the players celebrated they won a trophy, but to me that was oh, this is cringe.
Yeah, that was
that was cringy.
It felt very strange.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but to me, I was why we I get it. I understand the implications. The Agnelli should be celebrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The players should be okay, we won 4-1. Let's go clap our fans and go home.
Yeah.
Not with how they did. And again, I don't want to poop on them. I don't want to poop on the.
No,
whatever.
I think
Still,
the pressure was just big time with Pirlo, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I understand why, but it looked weird, like because like not even a year before we were celebrating the Scudetto.
Exactly.
It's weird. I mean, it's very weird.
It kind of reminds me, and like they're not equivalent, but it reminds me here locally, like whenever like basketball here, like if a team beats one of the top 5 teams or something, people storm the court kind of thing. And like if you're Juventus, if you're like here locally, Louisville, Kentucky, whatever, don't act like you've been there. Like you don't do that. It's what you do is you breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
And you move on about your day. That's what it should have been. But then you have Ronaldo and Dybala or whoever. No, but Ronaldo wasn't even there, was he? I think it was because he was on the bench. He was on the bench. Okay, I couldn't remember if he actually showed up or not.
He was planning for Portugal or whatever he was doing for the Euro Cup.
Yeah, I just remember seeing all them sitting on the bench watching the game
on the tablet,
on their phone or on the tablet and all that stuff. And it's just like this is where we were right then in that moment. It's just, I mean, it's unfortunate to be there, but at that point, like I said, I felt like there should be some protocol, but there should be something of like, hey guys, this ain't a good look.
Yeah, like, now there's a continuation into this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like again, we had a crap start because it bled through, and now we're trying to do the same things last year. It's embarrassing. Like,
yeah,
and I know we're gonna get into the questioning about improving whatever and all that. I think this kind of leads into it a little bit, and I don't know if you have any topics between then and from here and then. I'll go ahead and I'll just say this real quick, and then I'll let you if you want to get into that the actual question for that. It's just like just the fluctuation from literally the Mercado to the first game following the Mercado to we're 2 games after that. Yep. And we're in a totally different spot. Like when it comes to like how people feel, like the ups and downs, it's just ridiculous. Like for people being, and I when I say I'm part of it, I'm being guilty of saying like, I mean, I've also from the November, I sat here saying, we're agreeing with you all. Don't look at the table. It doesn't matter at this point. Top 4 looked almost unreachable for a bit. But then some pieces started to slide for other teams, and it started to help Juventus. And I thought if Juventus could, beat Atalanta, you have a pretty manageable schedule. I say manageable, but we know what's going to happen. There's going to be some hiccups or whatever.
Inconsistent. Yeah,
along the way. But at the same time, if Juventus handled these 3 matches, and then we get here onto Friday with Torino, you're in a good spot to ride this out and coast this out and see what happens with other teams. That could even cough up some way for you to be there competitive at the end. Not saying you're going to win the Scudetto, but to be in the conversation.
Yep.
And then now it feels like that's been plucked away real quick by a lack of performance against Atalanta. It's still possible, but less feasible.
Yeah, I think Scudetto's done. I know.
I know.
I don't even.
Wait, what?
Not. It's too many points. It's too many points to catch up. It's too many teams to hop over.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
No, my argument was to be in the conversation, not to win it, but to be right there within, 3 points or something like that at the end. It could have been possible because you're looking at the games these teams are dropping.
Yeah,
they were dropping points left and right, and like I said, they opened the door for Juventus to even be top 4 right now.
Yep. Yeah.
This looked unimaginable for a point a few months ago. Anyway, you want to get into the main question of the day? Do you have that in front of you, or do you need me to pull that up so that way we can?
No,
I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah. So we're going to transition into injury time, and these are the questions that our watchers, viewers, subscribers, all that stuff have put in for today. And it's brought to you by the Serie A website, fantasy website. You can, it's in the description in this video. Okay, so you can log on, make your team for the week, compete against us. I'm pretty sure I'm still first, as always. And then, if you win, if you have the most amount of points out of every user, there's a PS5 up for grabs. So log in, make an account. You're probably going to be a little bit behind now, but still do it. It's fun. Very easy to do.
Yep. And before
you're talking.
So, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think you're talking to me because I never got to set up an account.
Oh.
Maybe I'll do that now. I will listen and make sure you do that for a subscriber. I'll join in and I'll do it now. For a sponsor, not a subscriber, but yeah.
Wait, before I pull up the first question, I will just ask quickly. Like, did we improve, and will that improvement be enough to get top 4? Because that's the main question out there. Like, did we improve, and will the improvement we see and expect to see be enough to make top 4?
Jess, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'd say, I mean, it's inarguable that Juventus on paper have improved. Like, you can't argue that this Juventus squad. Are you saying from before the Mercado? Is that what we're saying basically?
Yeah.
Because
that's basically the benchmark or the main. How do you want to say?
Yeah,
measuring stick.
To me, I think you can't argue that on paper Juventus is a better squad than they finished the 2021 year with. Whether that means they will continue to play at a level that's better than what we've been seeing throughout the first half of the season is yet to be seen. I think we've seen good glimpses of it. I think Hellas Verona got everybody instant Viagra with the way that it felt watching that game and the way that they performed. You had Vlahovic out there, you had Dybala performing. You had Morata delivering to Zakaria for that goal, and everything just worked. It was beautiful. It was a wonderful game. And then following that, you had Sassuolo. It was fine. Maybe not the exact same kind of theatrics. More of a blue chew, if you will. Not a little bit the off-brand version. But then you got to this, and you're back with the ED, and you're wondering what happened against Atalanta. That's what I worry about. Is really I just wondered when there was a little bit of like that first game. Vlahovic was like, you put this faith in me. You know, they went out, they wanted to buy me. I wanted to come to Juventus. I'm going to go out there and show out and put in 100%, 120% there in the first half. And he did. I just wonder game after game after game if that can continue. Because otherwise, if it's not, I'm not going to say I'm going to crush him like I did Ronaldo, but I expect that kind of performance. Like right now, he's shown me that he is capable of not being Ronaldo, but being a top tier, one of the guys, I guess, in European soccer.
Yeah.
Football, whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if Allegri's antiquated coaching styles and I think there's parts of it that are just being held back by, like I said, I had all my complaints about the lineup, the way do we have any knowledge? Was Zakaria, was he hurt or was he just resting him for fresh legs? Is that what he said? Basically,
apparently he was rested.
He was resting because he had a knock at his back and stuff like that, so he was not taking a risk.
I personally would have taken a damn risk. I mean, I understand not taking it, but I would have when it's a game to me that I thought was so decisive for Juventus moving forward. Like I said, you have 2 more months. Yeah, there's Villarreal, but like, are we really? I know there's people, and it's gonna be a question later. But the Champions League, is that really? Are we thinking we're gonna win the Champions League this year? You know what I mean? Like, it could, maybe, but
no. But we need to win against Villarreal. We need to win.
I know.
We need every penny we can squeeze out of that Champions League now.
Right, but at the same time, I just feel like the Serie A, the money you get from, because like it's 4th, 3rd, 2nd place, whatever it is, it's more money, right? Every single.
I think the difference between 3rd and 4th is 8 million.
Yeah, I mean that's a purchase of Zakaria, right?
Yeah, but the next round in the Champions League is depending if let's say Inter don't make it against Liverpool, that can be like close to 10, 11.
Yeah.
Extra.
True.
I
think I've also just seen too much disappointment in this round the last few years. So I'm just coming in expecting the worst. Anyway, that's my personal. I don't want to drag it on too long with just what I was saying, but I kind of feel like I need to see if Allegri can manage this properly. If we're using if he actually sticks with if we see the plan moving forward, if we see it just keep jumbling different formations every single time, or if it continues to look like guys are rolling the ball out there, and we're just hoping Vlahovic does something with it, then I'll have issues. But anyway, I yield the floor, Julian.
I think as soon as so these past 3 games, I think it has improved, especially in the attacking sense, just generating scoring chances. Obviously, you read Mirko Nicolino's tweet, and the proof is in the pudding, as they say. It's right in front of us. There's numbers, and even there's eye test that shows that we're more dangerous with those 3 playing. So yes, there's improvement, not just on paper, but also on field product. I still think we're not catching 3rd. I still think we're fourth. I think we're too far behind. The time to make up ground was Sunday, and that would install fear into the top 3 teams if we were to win, and we're that much closer.
Okay, so
yeah, I think
no. So at this moment, we need to get in the top 4. If we finish second or fourth, for me, it's the same. We have won nothing, so I don't care. And if let's say in 5 years' time, only the top 3 will get into Champions League, then second place and third place, it's the same thing. Like it's Champions League, it's money, but you're the loser. Like you haven't won, so I don't care if you finish fourth, third, or second. If it's not first, I don't care. So that's just me. I said it many times. I think we improved before we signed Vlahovic and Zakaria. In terms of we looked like a team. Like we weren't all over the place. It was more structured. Like again, it didn't look great, but we looked kind of solid. Like it wasn't great, but we looked solid compared to, let's say, the first 3 months of the season. So yeah, and now it's obvious we improved. Like the mentality switched a bit. Like Vlahovic came in. Okay, he's a goal scorer, but it changed the way we play. It changed the way Dybala plays, the way especially Morata plays, and we look more dangerous. Like before, we were one-dimensional. Like it was. It was so easy to defend. Like we said, it was Sandro bombing forward. Like just going forward, like strolling forward. I don't know what he was doing. Same on the left side, on the right side. If it was the Chilio, like name it. It was so static. It was predictable. Now we are, I won't say unpredictable, but it's more difficult for teams to defend them because like there's a lot more movement. Like the element of surprise, and Vlahovic, like he's a difference maker. Even on Sunday, like he's just direct. Like if he gets a ball and he turns the defender, he only thinks about one thing, and that's the goal and shooting. Yeah, that's what he thinks. So it's different. Of course, you improve. Will it be enough? I expect this to be it should be on point in the next 4 games. It should be enough to make top 4. That's what all I'm saying. Even if Atalanta win their game in hand, it's 1 point. Do you like? It will be. I don't want to say it. It will be kind of a shock if they get more points out of the remaining games than ours. It would. But my personal feeling is, we won't get it. For some reason, we won't get it. That's my personal feeling because it feels like that type of season. We got away with it last season. I don't think we're going to get away with it this season. That's just my feeling.
Wait, hold up. You don't think we get top 4?
No, I just have a weird feeling. I said it on the live yesterday. No.
I think it is a hot take because I don't know. I feel even after the match against Atalanta, we only have Inter left, right?
No, Lazio and Fiorentina also.
Fiorentina last 2 games.
Oh right, but I'm saying of the top 4.
Leading up to it, leading up to those last 2 games, we only have Inter as an obstacle.
I don't think we are in a situation where we just should take any game for granted, like Sampdoria, Genoa away, like it's 3 point. But I think a lot of people are doing that. They're just looking, it's just Inter. Like, we're making top 4. And I looked at Atalanta's, how do you want to say, schedule. It looks worse because the tougher games are spread. And with us, it's Inter, it's nothing, quote unquote, and then it's Fiorentina and Lazio, or Lazio Fiorentina. With Atalanta, it's more spread, and it's Milan on the how do you call it? Not the last game, the game before the last game.
Penultimate.
Yeah, penultimate game, and then it's I don't know Empoli or something. It's more spread.
Empoli, I have it up.
So people, I think people look at it and it's like, oh, they see more tougher games every 3 games, and they're like, oh, that's difficult. But for us, it's the last 2 games, and Fiorentina away we struggle. Like it's not a walkover, and Lazio. I think we should beat Lazio, and I think they will fall back. Like they're in a good moment now, okay? But I think they will fall back, but like it's not a given. And for some reason, just because we got away with it last season in the last game, something's telling me we're not getting away. I hope, but something's telling me we're not getting away with it.
I understand your feeling, and I get that, and I do. Looking at the schedule, it makes sense. I think. And definitely with Fiorentina, it makes sense because Fiorentina has taken Juventus to the woodshed multiple times in the last 3 seasons, 2-3 seasons. So even with Vlahovic taking him, I think the last match, Juventus shut down Vlahovic, and it still was a tough game playing
Yep.
them. So I don't I can see that one. That one makes sense. I don't know. I just feel like you put the investment. There's a reason that they bought Zakaria and Vlahovic, and that's basically like I don't know. I still have enough confidence that this team has the ability to hold pace where they are. But yeah, you do have to find a way to hold firm while Atalanta needs to drop points at least one or two more times, given that they have that game in hand.
Yep.
That's so. But yeah, but I get your pessimism. I feel that.
Ollie's got some bad karma juju going on.
No. I'm not like, I'm saying this, and then fans are saying we're in Scudetto race, like not even 5 days ago. I'm like,
say
I'm
my
negative.
name. Say my name. You don't have to.
Did you say that?
No, I said it's a dream that's possible.
Okay, a dream
before the Atalanta match.
There were people actually believing in it.
Oh no, we're not in the race right now. Now we're not.
No, even before the game.
I thought
8 points.
Well, right, but I thought we could be if we get those three, and then things shape out. You never know. People drop points. I'm just seeing Juventus almost get bailed out so much the last couple months, and I'm like, who the hell knows at this point? Like, I just wanted to bring this up because it came to my head real quick. It's off topic, but Vlahovic was purchased in the winter mercado. I think somebody has not shaved their head yet. That is here, as well as now it looks like somebody else here did shave their head.
It's not shaved. It's not shaved.
He did it for me.
You know what? I just wanted to point right. I wanted to point out he was your proxy head or whatever. I want to say Alejandro went from looking like. Have you all seen Harry Potter?
Oh, of course.
Okay, he went from looking like Insigne to now he looks like Victor Crumb. He looks like the dude, the Haas guy or whatever. That's what he looks like. It's awesome. It's a good look. Anyway, let's continue on.
We'll get into the questions. Yeah.
Now we'll start injury time. And this first one, let me just say we're on the right track here. You have Emmett's.
Yep.
Emmett's questions first?
Yeah.
Okay, so this comes from Emmett. Emmett. What is the ideal starting midfield 3 combo for the rest of the season? Please do not include Rabiot.
Credit to Emmett on that one.
Yeah.
I'm going because I've not seen anything else, and I can say Arthur, but with I can say Arthur, Zakaria, and Locatelli, but I have no idea because I've not watched them, so I cannot say that. So, and looking at Allegri, I think it's Locatelli.
Don't say it. You're gonna say it.
He's gonna say Rabiot.
It's Rabiot. It's Zakaria. Just looking strictly on how Allegri plays and prefers his midfield at the moment, I think that he's going with that. What
I'm wondering is, does Emmett want what we think is going to happen, and what's the most ideal, or does he think what we want?
Yeah, I think what we want.
Yeah.
I think, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think if he's going to make changes, it's going to be McKennie coming in. I think Arthur will be. How do you want to say it?
Last man standing,
backup dancer. I think that's what he's going to be, in my opinion. I hate
he's
it.
Twerking in the background. He's just over there. Just anyway.
Also, one quick thing. I think he plays Locatelli in the 6 because he likes. How do you want to say it? He likes a player who's more if you have just a holder midfielder, just like Zakaria, or let's say he plays in the 6, I think he wants wingers who can bump forward, up and just keep going. And I think that's the issue. I'm not sure, because otherwise, I don't know why. I've seen Locatelli now play. People can say, it's because of the knock. I still think Locatelli is going to play there until the end of the season.
It's because he splits the center backs and dictates from there when in possession, and he wants the fullbacks to go further up the pitch.
Okay, yeah. Then he's going to play there.
Exactly.
Until the end of the season.
Yeah.
What's your ideal midfield, Justin?
I mean, if it's going me,
don't say Rabiot.
Okay, I won't say Rabiot. I'm looking at it. So here's our options. We have 7 midfielders to pick from. Chiesa is out of the picture. I'm taking Rabiot out because he asked for us to, so I'm not using Rabiot. So my options are Federico Bernardeschi, and this is
Oh,
not my pick. This is not me picking it. No, this is no. Yeah, I forgot about him too. Right. So otherwise, you're thinking you literally have what 4 players to choose from.
Yeah.
If you take out Rabiot and you take out Bernardeschi, then you got Bernardeschi, McKennie, Archer, and then you have Locatelli and Zakaria presence from Weston McKennie, and then Zakaria has shown that he can be imposing. To me, there on the other side, I don't know. That's what I go with.
It's a good shout, to be honest.
Do what?
It's a good shout, to be honest. But you know what it is? I don't think he's gonna do that ever.
No, I don't.
Unless Zakaria is just gonna play very close to Locatelli.
Yeah.
But it's a good shout. I think Arthur is out of the picture, like Rabiot. If people say don't Rabiot.
I would just use him as the first substitute, the first one to come in for those guys. Okay. And I know people, Bernardeschi, everybody's not us, but other people are still in love with Bernardeschi. But like I don't really know where he fits in this right now.
No, for a midfield, he shouldn't be anywhere near the midfield. It should be Rabiot. In my opinion.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna. What I want Zakaria at the base, and I want Locatelli on the left and McKennie on the right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to optimize an attacking fluidity from defense to midfield to attack.
I agree.
But again, this is not up to us, but that's what Emmett asks. Emmett asks for us and our opinion.
Yeah.
Yep.
they may be stupid, but they're our opinions. So
yeah.
We got it. I don't know. I just would like to see it try to work. I mean, this goes along with that. We could go with our entire formation if we want to with this. And I mean, I think it's pretty simple, especially if you're doing a 4-3-3. It's some sort of that midfield. Obviously, the trident in the front's going to remain the same, right? I don't think y'all would change that. No. And then it's just the defense is really it's Delict, Bonucci or Chiellini,
and then
Danilo.
Yeah, you can choose.
Is there a question? I saw somebody ask it in the comments. I don't think it was for the podcast. So when it comes to, is there a question about the left back situation?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Let's move on to Ante with the Marquisio kissing celebration. This person from YouTube. I watched our recent games and we always seem stuck. There is no creativity in the midfield to push the tempo and control the game. Do you guys think bringing a new manager can change that, or is that up to the players? Okay, we're not changing managers. Yeah, go.
No.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I just guys, I've ranted and yelled at you guys for this for so long, and you all come in after every loss or every draw with the Allegri out or whatever nonsense, or it's on Twitter by whatever. It's not happening. Like this season, it's not happening. We changed coaches 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
We're back to the one we started with. We don't need to do this one more year. It keeps throwing things in flux. Nobody can set anything. You can't start building towards something because you keep tearing it down. So it doesn't make sense. It also, you don't decide. Allegri doesn't come back, regardless of what you think about Allegri. He doesn't come back just for you to push him back out when he had options at Real Madrid or whatever like that. Like he's going to get his chance to build something and do something. A guy who you still went to, Champions League finals. Like this, he is that coach. So at this point, he at least gets another season. I don't think there's a chance he's gone.
No, and on the first part of the question or opinion, like you can change it. Like let's say you bring a player in like Nkunku, like an attacking midfielder, that changed no matter who's the coach, because like you're not, if you bring in that player, you're not gonna play him as a 6, or just like not let him free or set him loose. So that's a big difference. But the creativity on midfield, that's why we are asking for Locatelli to be pushed up the field a bit more. If that's not gonna happen, it's gonna be like that a bit. But I think they control I think they can control the game. I think they will.
They can if they want to.
Yeah.
Because the last 2-3 games, like the last 2 games especially, we've been outpossessed.
Yeah.
By like a fine margin. Like it was 55-45 both games.
Yep.
Yeah.
But never, like we were never, oh my God, so much, we can't deal with it. We could deal with it. So for Ante, it's just like no coach is leaving. It's literally up to him and the players.
Yeah.
So if you want to see more, I don't know if this is the team for you specifically, but it's not changing anytime soon, unless you get like better quality midfielder. Like what if Milinkovic comes in?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. Next
move
one.
on to Bonds.
Yep.
Yeah, move on to Bond. He always comments, or she, but they're always a commenter on our live shows. It's good to see them putting in a question. Does De Ligt really want to leave Juventus? If so, what could be the reason or reasons? Is it the coach, salary, or does he think the teams wanting to sign him are bigger than Juve?
I don't think he wants to leave. I said it many times before.
Nah, it's because you saw him singing with his girlfriend.
No,
Nah.
I saw people sharing that, like saying, "Oh, you want like don't do that." I don't like that was cringe. People using that for him to say that was weird. But I believe he wants to stay. Like he's a Raiola client, and Raiola will speak no matter who's like. Like he could have just signed. He can turn his back and say maybe next season he will play for another team. Like moments after he signed the deal. Like so that's Raiola. I believe he wants to stay, and I believe the club showed ambition in January for him to think, okay, something is moving. Coaching, I don't think that's a problem because I think he improved even this season. And remember, people were saying he's not top 5 in the league. That's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. It is.
Yeah.
He's the best defender at the club. He's one of the best in the world. Like again, have you seen that game? And even like just in general this season, but like at the Atalanta game, he was single-handedly keeping us in the game at the end of the second half.
He makes Bonucci look all right.
He's pedestrian.
He's different. Yeah. And remember we talked about, was it about Chiellini? We said like at the same age, it's not the same. And before Conte, he was good, but he exploded with Conte. And I know people in the comments were saying that at the same age they were the same. I love Chiellini. Like he's one of my favorite players ever. One of the best defenders I've seen. Yeah. But at the same age now, for me it's not even close. Like De Ligt is different. Like it's just different. Like at this age, you shouldn't be this good as a defender. Like unless you're Nesta or Maldini. Like and they're better, of course. They were better. I'm not saying that, but like you shouldn't. Like just look around. Just in general, look around.
Also, go back. Pulling up the Chiellini comparison, like Chiellini, like his main thing is organization and tackling ability.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Like De Ligt has that, plus he's sick on the ball. Like Chiellini is a nonce with the ball. Like let's not kid ourselves. He can't pass the ball, but De Ligt has every technical ability. He's Dutch, of course.
No, he played midfield for Ajax until he was 16.
Well, there you go.
He played in midfield for Ajax until he was 16, and then or like 14. But they moved him to center back because he was how do you want to say it? Or that's that was what the article said. I read it like 3-4 years back because he was growing so differently, and they tried it out and it worked. It worked up to perfection. I said one time like he has a bit of Chiellini in terms of he loves to play the physical game.
Yeah.
And he has a bit of Barzagli because Barzagli positionally he was amazing. Like he was always on the right spot. It was unbelievable. Like I don't know how he did it, but because he was slow, but he was always on the same position. And he has some ability that Bonucci, not the same because Bonucci is better on the ball, but he can play with his feet. Like he's unbelievable, and people are shitting on him. Our fans, and I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it.
Well, that's what I want to touch on. I think you all talked about it that day when it was all going on. I think you all had a live that day, and it was just I was just sitting back, kind of like in shock of like these people have lost their damn minds. Yeah. Like they're complaining and saying, "How are we supposed to replace Chiellini? This brick bleep house is how you replace Chiellini. This is the guy.
This is him. We have him."
Yeah, this is why we got him. He's a physical specimen, and now you have like 2 of those on the team now with Vlahovic at the attacking position, and you got him. And I don't say that Vlahovic is equal level, but we're hoping he is offensively what De Ligt is defensively. But at the same time, like people saying out here, and here's like again, same with you. Chiellini to me, he's in my triumvirate of the top 3. Like now Italian but Juventus players that Buffon, Del Piero, and I think Chiellini has earned that to me now to be one of the greatest Juventus players of all time that I've watched. But I just think with De Ligt, why would he want to go? He was asking that, and I was like, well, there's money. Why would any player want to move? Sometimes they like to change the scenery. Sometimes, I mean, look at one reason he may have wanted to leave was look at the last 2 years. You don't have any stability because coaches are getting run 2 years in a row. You have Ronaldo leaving. Ronaldo probably, I think, was a big part in bringing him in to Juventus. Really having him here. So him leaving, maybe then there's always English. As much as I love Juventus and Serie A and all that, obviously there are the things when it comes to the Premier League and all that are enticing to play.
Just quickly before we move on, because you said money, or the question was money. I don't think he is that type of player. Like he's almost 10. Like now at this stage of his career, I don't think if he leaves, because just looking the way he speaks, because he's one. I love when he speaks after a game. He just says what he thinks. Like he has no filter. He just speaks up, and every time I hear him speak, he wants to win. That's it. He just wants to win. And if he sees at the club, we are not going for winning or for domination again, and he has a better offer, I don't blame him. But I don't think he is moving for money. Will he get more money elsewhere? Of course. His agent is Raiola, and usually if you move, you get a better deal. Like that's how it works for most of the players. So, but I think he wants to stay. But let's see.
I mean, anybody though can be money whipped at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, they're going to give you something. You'll be like, this is not only people care about their money, but you can make money that's generational. We talked about with Donnarumma in the summer. I don't need to touch that on it. Sorry. Let's move on to the next question. Unless you had something to say, Julie.
No. I think I still think he's leaving, but we have our debates on this all the time.
Yep.
Our next question.
Is the next question if Dybala is going to get renewed?
No.
Or do we want to talk about Dybala? Did Sanine want that?
I think Hanin, we're going to do that. No, we're not. The next question is about De Ligt again. This is coming from Notorious PIG, one of my favorite Twitter accounts. Just name alone. I don't actually follow this person, so sorry. My Milanista friend, don't judge, thinks that because Milan bought Tomori for around 25 mil, that means there's no way De Ligt is worth around 90 to 100 mil. What I said I believe he's worth. What do you guys think?
So I read that question, and it was actually a good question. And I will answer that easily. Tomori, I think he's a good player. I always thought he was a good player when he was playing even on loan
Chelsea.
on loan to...
Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake, I forgot. Yeah, not Aston Villa. Was Derby County or Aston Villa? I forgot about it now. One of those two. But I always liked Tomori, and I think he's a good defender. And he will be a good defender for many years in Serie A. But it's different because the league is different. Like, they're different type of players. And the teams going for Tomori were not win mode now. You know what I mean? Like, they're not competing for the highest level. The teams going for the league, they need now. Like, they are going for a player who comes in now and they know he's going to do a job. He doesn't need time to adapt. He's, how do you want to say it? He is well seasoned. Like, he's ready now. And big teams, I'm just throwing out names, City, Real Madrid, who are in win mode now and all about winning, they will pay that money easily. They will. Yeah. Also, Tomori was perfectly rated because he was not playing at Chelsea. De Ligt is different.
Yeah.
Well, De Ligt will revolutionize your defense. No matter who it is, immediately you put him in, your defense gets better. You look at also with like Bonucci and Chiellini and like play with those guys. No, I don't think. I think maybe one or two games you can ever say that he had a quote unquote bad game. Like really ever. Or like really playing for Juventus. I don't even know that I could really argue that many bad games. But playing alongside, you look at Bonucci and Chiellini and how well they play together. Like Bonucci, and when you split them up, Bonucci, obviously, I feel like in the last year, he's done better than he did last year. Last year, he was getting blasted on defense. Like, people were just crushing him nonstop. I feel like now he's playing better alongside De Ligt. But De Ligt, his play has never really dropped, depending on either really who you have alongside him. Like, he's good to go. He doesn't need a lot of time to really mesh in. So anyway.
Yep. So market value, like he has also a release clause of 150. Like, he's way worth. Again, both points for you guys. 100%. De Ligt is way more worth than Fikayo Tomori.
Yep.
I don't think that's even debate. Like that's not even. We can move on from that. I'm sorry.
You know what we need? No, you know what we need to do? We need to turn this into like an around the horn segment where somebody, one of you,
yeah,
you give points to whoever has the best answer or whatever. Yeah.
We could do that. That'd be fun. You can't coin that though. We can't. Don't mention that American show.
Yeah. Not ATH. We'll. Yeah.
We'll move on. The next question is coming from Davide Fufaro.
Oh no.
One of our members.
Really?
No. What?
No, it's one between.
I have Davide. Okay.
I will read it out. It's from YouTube. The name is L, but it is what it is.
L.
The question is, will you keep Fagioli and Rovella in the first team next season? They're both creative talents and just need a chance, especially with us having low finances. So I'll answer that quickly. I don't think Rovella is that a creative player, but out of those players, would I keep him? Yeah. If you can use him to get a better player, move him on. And not especially Rovella. I would say Rovella because he's worth more. Because he's proven like he plays Serie A football. If you cannot use him in any type of deal, then yeah, keep him. Especially for Fagioli because he's different. Rovella, I think if he comes in, I don't think he's gonna play a lot, to be honest, because we have those like Locatelli can play that, Zakaria can play that. Yeah. So I don't think he's gonna stay. I will put it like that. I don't think he's gonna stay. So if you can use him, we made up a fantasy thing like you can use it for Savic. Yeah, I wouldn't think twice. So that's my answer.
I would say, and I guess I don't really have an answer because I kind of agree with what you're saying. The only comment I really have on this is, this question is something that like I think about a lot. That I think about. This is a weird way to say that, but like what I mean is like it's a topic that maybe it's going to come up in a live down the line once we get closer to the Mercado of like. So we're going, all these names, and a lot of them are garbage names that are getting thrown out. Like, you're always going to get SMS. You're going to hear about Pogba and all this stuff. Well, eventually, if we're being serious and Juventus is really going after one big name midfielder they're going to bring in. Yep. So you're going to have to sell. You're going to have to get rid of Rabiot or somebody else, especially if you're going to try to bring in not only that guy, but then we're looking at these youth players or Rovella, who I kind of throw in with the youth players, even though he's not, just because he's younger. Yeah. But like you talk about trying to use Fagioli, you try to use other names I know that are weird questions about later. So it's just that's a whole conversation in itself of what pieces do you need to move around to end up utilizing any of them, even if you do.
Yeah. I'm on the same status as Ali. Keep him if you're not using him in a swap.
Yeah.
That's it. And if it's for Milinkovic-Savic, you are absolutely nuts if you don't send him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So.
Well, it's. So wait, okay. Can you reread? No, okay. I hate to ask you to do that. Reread that part of the question again. Was the question actually, do you keep them, or was it, do you bring them into Juventus, or does it mean you keep them
in the first team?
Like sell?
No, keep them in the first team.
Okay. So you would keep them. Okay, got it. Okay.
Also, just to add, I do think Fagioli needs a Serie A season.
I agree.
But we'll move on. Now do you say Davide Faro?
Yeah.
What are we on now?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay. Can you give us an overview of our left back options? Just name names. Just name like three or four.
Watch the video that I did today.
Oh no.
What's the video?
No, yesterday, basically.
Sorry. What's the video I did yesterday? We're in the.
But the names are the usual ones. Weindal, it's Cambiaso, it's
Cambiaso,
Udogi,
Weindal.
Yeah. Weindal, and it's
and Parisi.
Yeah.
So
interesting players, but knowing Allegri, none of them will start immediately. So I think Alexandro's gonna stay, and we're gonna move on Pellegrini in the summer. That's what I think. What's gonna happen?
This is the question that goes along with. So what's with Pellegrini? Yeah, what's with?
I think he's leaving. He's leaving. Allegri doesn't rate. Okay. Like Allegri doesn't rate any of those players, in my opinion. But he plays Sandro because I don't know why. I said because, but I don't know why. I don't know. Season, like he's been there, done it. He's done it awfully for the last 3 years, but that doesn't count for Allegri. But I think Pellegrini, I said it many times before, would I play him over Alexandro now? Yeah, because Sandro is horrendous to watch. Do I rate Pellegrini? Absolutely not. And I don't think he's going to stay at the club. That's just my opinion.
So I guess like at this point, when I look at it from Allegri's perspective, is it De Sciglio first to be utilized in that position, then Alexandro, and then Pellegrini, but like a big gap between Sandro and Pellegrini, I guess.
Let's see.
Like,
He's back in training,
it's
Pellegrini now, so
it's just so odd because like there's so many games he was getting opportunities there in the first half of the season, and then he just like disappeared off the face of the play. Like I don't know if he got hurt or whatever happened for a little bit, but like it was just nowhere to be seen.
I agree.
So that kind of did surprise me, especially because he looked serviceable. I'm not saying great, but I'm just saying serviceable compared to what I've seen Alexander do a lot. All right.
Yeah. Is this the last one before we do rapid fire?
No,
Matthew
the last.
Urella?
There's no one.
What?
There's not one from Matthew. Oh yeah, Matthew. Excuse me.
That's what.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses on, so I couldn't read it.
Oh, I didn't know Victor Crumb had glasses. Anyways, with Chiesa coming back in the fall, what do you think that does to the formation? Does he slot in the place for Morata or Dybala if one or both leave, or does he change how you line up if he is healthy?
I have no idea what Allegri will do.
Exactly.
I have actually no idea because I have a feeling the club will try to keep Morata and will try to ship out Keane and Caio. That's what I believe, especially because Chiesa, before he can play a game, like maybe it's end of October, start of November, how are you going to bridge that gap if Morata leaves? You need to change your formation again.
Matthias Sule.
No, that's not happening. So,
I'm kidding.
So he's gonna change. Is he gonna change the formation in August when we play our first Serie A game? Is he gonna use Cuadrado in the 3? Is he gonna keep Bernardeschi and use Bernardeschi? Like, that's actually a good question, but a very difficult one to answer because we have no idea what's gonna happen player wise.
Yeah, let's see after the summer.
Yeah,
let's see after the summer what happens. To answer
Maria's yelling from hell to bring back the 4-4-2.
Yeah,
that's what she's yelling.
She never came back.
She
never did. Like, you literally said that, and she never returned. I was like, Maria, because she commented on like a bunch of videos leading up to that point. Yeah. And then you said that, and then she just said, peace out, and she just ghosted and disappeared. Yeah. And I don't know where she is. She's in 4-4-2 hell. I don't know.
She's never coming back.
Yeah. I liked Maria. That was sad. Anyway. But I mean, I don't really have anything different to add to that. That's what I was kind of feeling too. I feel like it'd be Chiesa over Morata more than Dybala, but I don't really know how it'll be utilized though. If you're just picking between the players in the lineup, but I don't know how Allegri's mind works because I get this idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, just say I get this idea of what makes sense to me that I throw out there, and his lineup looks nothing like that every single time. So I don't know.
Matthew Urella can ask that September 1st, 2022.
Yeah. We'll say that we'll start.
We started in August, so even in August. I think Serie A starts in August.
No, I meant like because after the transfer is
okay. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
So, there you go. Okay. Now we'll go into
rapid fire.
We'll go into rapid fire now, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so these ones, we're saying yes, no, and like maybe 4 words. If it needs them.
Yeah.
Okay. So Moretti. So sorry, this is coming from.
Oh wait.
Honest.
No. There's one before that. I will read it out.
Oh, you set me up for failure here.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read it? I got it.
Yeah, you read it.
Okay, I believe it was. The name's hard to read. Born a Colbadi. At first, I thought it said born a baddie. Like anyway. Ignore that. Do you think Morata is worth signing in the summer, or will the club focus on bringing in another player instead, and who? We've talked about this. I mean, I'll let you guys. I read the question. You guys answer first, and I'll come back.
If it's for 15 million, it's worth it. Yes, because he knows the system, and we don't need to bring someone else in and try to fit him in. Also.
Yeah, it's got to be 15 mil. Or less. Or else absolutely not.
Yeah, if you get him for an affordable price range like that, it's good. But then also, what was the second part of that was instead who? Who knows? Like I don't who else?
Yeah, no.
Okay, it's Edgar. It's gonna be Icardi. There you go. There you go. He gets Icardi then.
Icardi Vlahovic up top, double.
Yes. But yeah, I think that covers that one for me. I think it's we've talked about it a lot recently in the last few weeks of like if this works out, if this trident is, if it's fruitful for all three of them and it works out, it looks good, and then you can get him for a cheaper option because Atletico Madrid just don't want to deal with having to bring him back into the club and then try to sell him again, then yeah, keep him.
Yeah. So. Okay, is the next one on us?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Moretti, Sule, Ranocchia, who do we want to stay in the future?
In an ideal world, all three of them. For me, just what I've seen, I think Moretti is the most talented out of all of them. So I would say Moretti. But it's early to say, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm in your line. I think if I'm just going to do a ranking right now, and like I said, just based off from the tiny bit I've seen him, Moretti, I put him there just like you said, talent level. Just watching him, actually he has it in my ranking of how I do it. Sule, and then Ranocchia is the one who I see him do good things, but he's also, to me, of the three, he's the just slightly less. The one I think that has the least. Potential? I guess.
Yeah. My ranking would be Sule, Moretti, Ranocchia, and I'm selling Ranocchia for Plus Valenza as soon as possible. And the other two, if they're staying, that means they're doing good.
Yep.
So, good for them. Is next Hasta?
Yep.
Okay, so how far can we go in the Champions League?
How
as
far?
Your dreams will take you.
Yeah, it depends on the draw, but it should be at least quarterfinals. Meaning we should beat Villarreal, and then let's see what's the draw. If you get PSG, I think you're screwed. I'm not gonna lie. So it depends on the draw, but let's beat Villarreal first, which we should.
Yeah, they should. They should have. They should have won this round the last couple of years, and they haven't done it. So that's why the reality part of me that worries about this. But I feel like, on paper, Juventus should win this, series or whatever you want to call it. This match at both legs, against them. So I'd probably say win one and then one and done. I guess from here is the way I put it, and that's just me being realistic. I don't know. Like, you get a couple pieces next year, but also Juventus really, compared to how they played every other competition so far, they've looked good. They look damn good in the Champions League outside of that one match against Chelsea, really.
Yeah.
Second leg of it. So, but I wouldn't imagine going farther.
I think it's quarterfinal and then peace, which is fine. Mm-hmm. This is added gravy at this point. So be happy for however far we get. We'll move on to Alexandru Tandara's question. He's a regular as well on the live shows. Do we have to get to the Scudetto next season, having Vlahovic, Zakaria, etc., and getting good players in the summer?
We should compete, and I mean, with competing, we should be in the race until like 4 games at the end of the season, at least. If we keep this squad, like we said, if we keep the league and we add, there's no excuse for not being in the Scudetto race until the end.
To go off of that, what's your standard for that? That I guess, like, to me, I feel like if I'm Juventus, I remember we talked about this year. Like, I thought this year I started out with saying you should go win the Scudetto this year, because I thought wrongly that Inter were gonna have a bigger fall off after Conte left, except for it appears Conte actually builds you a decent little base to work off from compared to maybe some other coaches. But so I was give him credit there. He's definitely earned a little bit more respect back in my book after seeing that. But then my question though is, like, I guess originally my thought would be I expect Juve to go and win the Scudetto next year, but what all factors into that? What are we looking at when it comes to the biggest competitions next year? Is Milan going to fall off at all? Is Inter gonna keep chugging along?
No, even if they are up there, if you keep this squad, you keep the league, and you add, you should be in there, because I think the squad is better than Milan already. So you should, no excuses. You should be in there. And if you're again far away, that's a reason to get sacked in the second season. If you're again far away.
Yeah, well, that's what I was. Yeah, thank you. That's what I was getting at. It was more of like, I feel like Juventus are putting the money in the right places where they should have a better squad than the rest of the city on paper.
Yeah.
So, your thoughts, Julie?
I think if you're improving this squad, you have to win. You should have won. You should have been with it this year. But
if it weren't
whatever.
for 3 weeks or whatever, you probably would be.
Yeah. So you gotta expect to win. There's another question from L.
Yeah.
So actually a bunch of questions. Should we sell Delit in the summer if he rejects a new contract? Delit's salary off will help sign Pogba. Also, we can reinvest in the squad with his fee. With the fee that we.
If he rejects a contract, yes, no doubt, because it's 24, you need to sell. If he rejects, it is what it is. So yeah, do I want to sell him? No, but if he rejects, yes.
Yeah, it makes sense in that circumstance. I just love that it was like, well, to sign Pogba, especially after the nonsense,
right? Yeah.
Talking about the €9 million
that was a disaster today.
Salary.
That was a disaster today.
Yeah, all of that. But I guess any player, if they refuse to sign a new contract, you would sell them because you want to make money off of them. You're not just going to let them run it.
101.
Yep, exactly. I don't know if Pogba is the answer though. Now.
No. You saw.
I'll tell your cousin.
Yeah, I told him today. I'm with you guys. Sell Delit if he rejects, but if it's 9 million, sign Pogba. But it's not going to be 9 million, so don't sign.
Yeah, but to me at this point, it's do anything you can to keep Delit. Like that shouldn't even be a question.
Delit 100%. Do your best. Like give him 3 villas beside each other.
Yep.
I don't care. We'll move on. Next would be Skeptical Ponderer. Is that correct?
Yep. That's a deep name, I guess.
How many signings do you think Juventus needs in order to be among the top 5 teams in Europe again?
So, I would say, starting 11. Starting 11. I would say left and right back. So that's 2. Like if you want to be among the top 5, starting, I would say right and left back. One attacking midfielder. So that's 3. Depending on how Allegri will play. If he plays a 4-3-3, I think we're good with what we have. If Chiesa comes back, but we need at least 3 bench players of better quality, and that's meaning getting players like Bernardeschi out of the squad and getting proper players into the squad who can make a difference off the bench. Not
what, Sturaro and Lamina weren't good enough?
No, yeah. That's what I mean with top 5. Like you can have a starting 11 that looks fantastic, and then they turn around, bring in Asensio, and we bring in Sturaro. Like that's a difference. That's top 4. Like you need to have a good squad again. So starting 11, if he keeps 4-3-3, I would say at least 3 players.
So with that, say we're okay. So I'd say that as well as counting. Obviously, you saw me counting. Left back. Say you bring in left back. I mean, okay, is this to be among the top 5 teams in Europe? Okay, I was just thinking about to be a good Juventus. I wasn't even thinking about to be the top 5 teams in Europe. So like I'm over here thinking like, okay, you bring in Cambiasso maybe or somebody like that for the left back position because I don't know many other left back names that really or seem likely. I mean, I know we talk about Wijndal or whatever, but half the time those names just throw them out the window. And then okay, and the midfielders say you get. What am I gonna say? You're gonna go get SMS. You're
just say mystery man. Romeo's mystery man.
Yeah, Romeo's mystery man. Okay, so he said Pogba or Milinkovic-Savic. Is that what he said? Or De Jong. So you get one of those. But then like, what are you gonna do? I guess you go in and then bring Ravella up, or you bring in something like that. Doesn't really get you to that level, but you have to think about like logistically what makes sense. I just don't know if it's that easy to do it. Oh, okay. Okay, not in one Mercado. Okay, I looked at the question again. I thought they were asking in one Mercado to get to the top 5 again.
No.
Who do you sign? Okay, then I guess over a couple seasons, you could sign a big time midfielder, a big time, I don't know, and I don't know the big time left back or right back for you. Just to be honest, that's one that's still yet to see. So we'll see. I think it'll take time though. It'll take a couple more seasons at least to be in that position.
I say 5.
Yeah, that's what I think. 2
fullbacks, a center back, a definite mystery man center midfielder, and probably another attacker.
Yeah, but I agree. I was just looking at the starting 11 now, and I was like, but we need quality on the bench.
I'm talking about 4, then 4 for the starting 11.
Well, if there's that many guys that you need to sign,
okay, I get the Bonucci one because you're probably gonna replace Bonucci because he's old.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that, but like I don't think that. I think the priority for now is getting someone in who can be the starting next season, like the season beside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm just going based off the how many signings.
Yeah.
Right, like we need to replace like 100% because Bonucci's not it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Two fullbacks are just like they're fine to defend. Modern game, they're not.
No, I agree.
Mystery man center midfield to just be a difference maker. That's 4 starting midfielders, and then definitely another attacker because Keane coming off the bench. As you guys say, we need another sub. That's not it.
No.
Well, my question though, going off of that, and I know obviously Buffon was Buffon, but like if we're going on that schedule, will Szczesny still be performing well enough at that point?
I think he should because goalies are different.
Yeah,
goalies
and
can age until like they're 40 and be fine.
I can take another 2 years of watching Szczesny, but I cannot take another 2 years of watching Alexandro. That's it. But
no, I'm back on the Szczesny train for now. Like he's done. So besides those 2 months, like he's been back to being as good as I expect him to be.
Okay.
And doing as much as he can. So I just didn't know for him personally how that'll pan out. All right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So it's the last one, right, guys?
Yep.
I believe so.
Okay. So it's also coming from the skeptical panderer. Considering Serie A's decline and standings compared to the EPL, would you root for other Italian clubs to win the Champions League, knowing that it would help the league as a whole, including Juve? No.
No chance. No. I'd rather play the rest of my life in Serie B than I'm gonna root for anyone winning the Champions League. Like it's that deep. No, I don't care. People saying, "Oh, it's good for the league." I don't give 2 shits about it.
Yeah.
I don't care
Liverpool,
about other teams.
Keep the crap out of Inter, please.
Yeah, I hate Liverpool, so I posted a picture. I hope both teams lose. I don't know how, but I hope they both lose. Like I don't know, something messes up. I hate both teams with a passion. I will say that, but I will never root for any. No, just in general, another club. I'm not gonna root, let alone an Italian club. I don't care what the EPL does. We have an owner who's ranked top 4,
top 8.
No, he's 4th. Like the family is.
Oh, is he 4th now?
5th or 4th. Like football clubs owned by. Someone.
Well, I was talking about like richest people in the world.
No, network, like football clubs owned by. It's Newcastle. It's City. It's PSG. I think it's us then. I think it's Agnelli, the family. I think it's 4th, to be honest. Like we will be good even if Serie A is shit. Like, so I don't care about that. I hope they all lose.
Here's where I'm gonna go about this, and obviously I'm a little bit more long-winded on some of this stuff. So, like, I'm gonna come at this about a little bit of a different angle, but getting eventually to the same point. At first, when you all both said no so quickly, my mind just thought, okay, I gotta be the what's the word I'm looking for?
Devil's advocate.
I've got to be the opposite guy and say yes.
You don't.
And find a way to do it, but I don't. But
not for this one. Not for this one.
I was reading through the questions to try to see if they meant this year or next year or whenever have you. Here's I think the only circumstance that I would really, quote unquote, maybe cheer or like to see another team win Champions League. It's a team that has no shot at winning Champions League for the foreseeable future, and it's because the only team I kind of have a little bit of a soft spot for is Palermo, and they're in Serie C. So it's just it's my family's from Sicily, and all, and like I have a soft spot for Palermo. I love when we were at Palermo, all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff like that, but that ain't happening. Right?
No, not even then. If they somehow make it, I will still hate them then. I don't give 2 shits about it. Like imagine Palermo winning the Champions League before us again.
Oh yeah,
we need to cancel the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I would. Yeah. But no, that's what I would say. That's the only like other team that I have a soft spot for. But going into this and unpacking this to the question of rooting for the league because you want the league to look better is such a loser mentality. And no offense to you, Skeptical Ponder. I'm not saying that about you. I'm just saying in general it's a loser mentality because I look at here locally related to this. If you follow college sports or anything like that. My team, Louisville, used to be in a lower league, a lesser league in the NCAA, Big East, and stuff like that. Back when you had to cheer in football, American football, for the other teams to be better, so that way your record looks better and have a better chance of playing for a better championship or whatever. It's different than Champions League, all that stuff. Now Louisville is in the ACC, which is a top tier league where everybody can be shit and you can go play for a championship if you're good. That's what this is. There's no reason to need anybody else in Serie A to be good. They can all absolutely be, dumpster fires, whatever have you. As long as Juventus is that shiny turd at the top, we're good to go when it comes to this. So there's no reason to cheer for anybody.
Bayern is the perfect example for that. So you can do it.
Yeah, as long as you're in a good league, with a good league standing, the rest of the makeup of the league doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
That's gonna.
Do you guys actually care if people say you play in a farmers league? I don't give a crap.
I don't care
because I know it's not.
Yeah. No, I don't care what people say.
It doesn't bother me at all.
I watched.
But I think I haven't really heard somebody say that about Serie A in a little while. I feel like.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Well, you're also living in an area people don't talk about it in America. Let's not get ourselves. They don't talk about, but not like they do France.
I don't care because I watched a clip. It was clipped. I don't know what it was. Like it was a show. I don't know, like Premier League fans talking like us from all clubs. I don't know what it was, and they were talking about the league, and they were saying, Davinson Sanchez, who also played for Ajax, he went to Tottenham, and they were saying like, De Ligt is a better player, and as that guy said, I said it before, he's better than Sanchez. Like that's a mystery. Like that was already laughable. Like yeah, no shit. Mm-hmm. It's like saying Vlahovic is a better player than Keane. I mean, yeah, he is, but it is what it is. And he went on saying maybe De Ligt has not grown as he did basically, but maybe he will. I'm like, you have watched no De Ligt besides 2 Champions League games when he played for Ajax against Real Madrid because it was a big game everybody was watching. You can feel it. They hate us. They think we are, how do you want to say it, average. And then the stream went on saying, again, Inter, they were saying, yeah, we're in the next round. It's done. We beat Inter. Like, they're so disrespectful. They talk about Farmers League, but they all want the players playing in the Farmers League. Like, their English players are crap. They're absolutely, like, they're crap. They're good players. Yeah, like, I rate them. They have some good quality players, but they want the players from the Farmers League. Germany, France,
Chelsea's been begging for Chiesa for like since the Euro Cup.
Liverpool, like they want the Farmers League players. So if you call it the Farmers League, why do you want the players in it?
And the Farmers League just won the Euro Cup.
Yep. But it also gives them kind of, it's also them kind of showing their ass too. Like when it comes to like Italian football, for the most part, is looked at for this being like I don't want to call it like a bastion, but basically a bastion of like defensive, like schematic defensively played. More focused heavily on that than any other league kind of does. Kind of like, I guess my closest, we have enough Americans watching this channel. It's fine. I can use this analogy. SEC football. Like SEC football was always looked at like a defensive league of like, watching these 9-3 final games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's kind of what, it is. But yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It's like you have that good a defense. And that's kind of like what De Ligt's playing. And it's not like he's playing in, the French league or whatever. I don't know.
But Julian summed it up. Like Italy won the Euros and the only players playing outside of Italy were Verratti, Jorginho, Emerson, because he needed basically. And other than that, it's just playing in Italy. So what does that tell you? And all the English players are playing in England. All of them, besides Bellingham, I think he's playing. I think it was the only team, Dortmund, because Tomori didn't make the squad.
Sancho technically was.
Oh, who? Oh, Sancho and Trippier.
Yeah.
But it was It's a flip side from Italy.
How far have we come? Because I feel like less than 2 years ago. Yeah. I was saying, how far have we come? Because I feel like less than 2 years ago, we were talking about how the Italian talent sucks. It's like we were hearing a lot of that. Like I mean, not far, but I mean, like they won Euros.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know what I mean? To at least competing for the Euros and winning them, not just
I still think England at the moment have the better talents, but it's not about talent. At the end of the day, it's more about that. But it is what it is. So no chance. I hope they all lose. I don't care.
Same.
Remember Atalanta 2 seasons ago? People were rooting for Atalanta. No chance.
Yeah, no chance.
They went out. I was happy. I don't care. Fuck. Oh, I'm not gonna say it, but F him. I don't care.
You already did. Yeah.
I don't care. Like people were saying, oh, it's poor Atalanta. I don't give two. What about it? I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
I hope they lose. They play Olympiacos.
Yes, I'm
I hope
glad
they
he did,
lose.
and I hope he burns in hell.
They play Olympiacos now in the Europa League. Like, I shouldn't be caring, but if they lose, I will smile. I don't care. I actually don't care. I know people say, "Oh, that's not good. Like, you're being petty." I don't want any Italian team winning something in Europe. If it's not us, it's already painful. We are losing.
I don't want anybody in general to. I want to win.
Yeah, I want to win. So
I don't care.
I'm not gonna say if Atalanta wins or like I'm gonna say, "Oh, good for the league." No, like it's not good for me. I don't care about the league. It's not good for me.
No.
So that's that.
No. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's just the same thing. It's like even if they weren't, say Juventus's rival was somebody not in City. I'll say it's Liverpool or something like that. It's like cheering for them to win. It doesn't make sense at all. You don't want to cheer for the people that bleep talk you, that all the Ketchopoly and all that crap and all that nonsense, just to cheer for those people. Hey, I mean, that's also real quick, because I know we need to wrap it up. To go off just the stuff that I talked about, like the way Juventus is treated overall. And I'm trying not to be Homer guy, just saying Juventus is always wrong, because that's not always the case. But there's been a lot of like Juventus, for the most part, by the media or by whatever have you, where they just kind of like they're happy to crap on, even though this is the cash cow of Serie A.
Yep.
Like this is the again, I'm going back to college, but like the Duke or the whatever, the LA Lakers or something like that of that league.
Yep.
And they treat them like absolute crap. It doesn't make any sense.
No, but it's what it is.
Yep.
We'll continue to ride high. So that was injury time, a very long injury time. It's Fergie time. We went into.
Yeah, it's for it's Fergie time.
So there
it's
you go.
Danilo. It's Danilo against Atalanta.
Yeah, there you go. Ali's got to go to bed, so there's that. We got to go eat, Justin and I. So
together, I'm driving over to his house.
There you go. Yeah, see in like 10 hours.
I'll be there.
So with that, we'll end episode 12 of the podcast. Justin, if you want to wrap it up, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you each and every one of you for tuning in. As always, like I said, if you liked what you saw here, even if you didn't like it, I don't care. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join the channel, become a part of our community. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you consider joining our member squad. It's thanks to all the members, the guys with the badges and gals with the badges in the chat. It'll be green. Their name will be in green, and then they'll have the little icons and all that. It's really cool. You get a lot of cool stuff. You get to be a part of some of our videos. You'll see guys like Malik joining in and other people in some of our lives. You get a lot of content with that, and you just get to really just dive more into the community that we have here at the Bianconeri Zone and as Juventus fans in general. As always, this is also, I think this is our the 12th episode of the podcast, so we'll have the 13th one next week and so on and so on. And also, don't forget to make sure you're liking and retweeting the pinned, tweet on Alejandro or the Bianconeri Zone Twitter account out there, so that way you're entered for a chance to win a official Dushan. I guess it's not Dusan, it's Dushan. So it's the douche is loose instead of the douche is loose. But anyway, that's what we have for you guys. So make sure you're doing that, so you're entered for a chance to win that as well. But we'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.